Sherman.
Mr. Lovelady, thank you for your testimony, and I'd like your entire family for being here to put a human face on what we're talking about. There are those who blame America anytime anything bad happens anywhere in the world, that we're the world hemogen, and that therefore anything bad that happens is a sign of American weakness or American error. The fact of the matter is, with some crises, we need to watch and not get involved. With some, we need to influence and put only some of our prestige, money, and in some cases, troops on the line. And only in a very few cases do we need to actually be sure to control the outcome and assume ownership of the crisis and make a full commitment. We should not retreat from all involvement in the world, nor should we try to take responsibility for the outcome of any crisis. The phrase lead from behind has been disparaged, and as a turn of phrase it deserves to be disparaged, but as a concept, that is to say, be involved but not necessarily take the leadership role, it has to play a role in American foreign policy. In Niger, we helped France, but France took the lead. Would we have had it any other way? Is there anyone in this room that wants American troops in Niger? And in Libya, it was a combination of the United States, NATO, and the rebels on the ground that overthrew Gaddafi. We did not put our troops on the ground or try to control the outcome. We got an outcome that was far from perfect. Would we have preferred to see American troops dominate Libya? There is also the Pottery Barn rule put forward by Colin Powell that says if we do get involved, we have to take ownership and we're responsible for rebuilding. I'll point out that history proves that wrong. In World War I, we played a critical role in breaking the German, Austro-Hungarian, and Ottoman empires. No one in America dreamed that we had the responsibility to rebuild or that we owned that which had been broken. And while some of our more imperialist friends who were with us in World War I took advantage of opportunities, no one asserted that they had the obligation to rebuild every society that was destroyed. We have a right to defend ourselves without assuming the obligation to make sure that every country that harbors terrorists ends up as prosperous and as democratic as our World War II adversaries. And we have to be humble enough to realize that sometimes we will influence but not control. Now I'd like to turn our attention to Morocco, which is one area we haven't focused on yet. I'm concerned that the AQIM, Al-Qaeda in the Islamic Maghreb, has reportedly established ties with the Polisario militants in Algeria. Algeria provides material support and land for the Polisario, and some of the members seem to have been involved in the terrorist operations in northern Mali. I don't know which of our experts to ask, but what are the links between AQIM and the Polisario? What are we doing to disrupt those links? And what should we be doing to help allies like Morocco deal with AQMD-aided organizations?
Based off of what I know in the open source reporting, it appears that there's a lot of rumors related to potential connections, but there's no hard evidence as of now, at least based off the open source reporting. And in terms of any connections at all, I would assume that our allies in Morocco would help out in arresting individuals, as the Moroccans have in other cases where there have been different terrorist cells within Morocco that we've seen over the past 10 years.
Well, the Polisario is being sheltered by Algeria. What do we do? What should we do there?
I don't really focus on Algeria that much in terms of my research, so I don't know the nature of what the United States' relations there, but I assume that the United States can speak with Algeria, but we also have to understand in this context that there is a rivalry between Morocco and Algeria, and we can't necessarily, influence it that much.
I'm going to try to sneak in one more question. Is Libya, we turned over tens of billions of dollars of Gaddafi's reserves to the Libyan government. Is that money being used to establish security on the ground? Is it being hoarded? or is it being stolen? Anybody have a one-word answer?
I would say primarily hoarded and stolen, but a portion of it is being used to try to develop some governance, but not enough, sir.
I yield back.
Thank the gentleman. Chair recognizes the chairman of the Middle East North Africa Subcommittee.